All right, ladies and gentlemen, to start off this show, we're going to talk about a very controversial trade that happened this past week in the Windy City, in Chicagoland and whatnot. That, my friends, is the trade of Roquan Smith from the Bears to the Ravens. Now, for those of you that don't know, Roquan Smith, all-pro linebacker, not all-star, Pro Bowler, arguably the best player on the Bears right now. He was traded to the Baltimore Ravens for a second, a fifth, and another linebacker. I think his name was Klein or something. Like, basically just a fill-in, unless he's really good and I don't know, to fill in at linebacker because we need a linebacker. And a lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people had mixed emotions on that trade. They thought, some thought, they should have thrown the bag at Roquan, made him a Bear for life. They had a lot of money, this, that, whatever. Some people thought that they should have gotten a first or maybe even 2 firsts for Roquan in exchange for his services for 1 year. And I say that because I'll get into that in a second. To me, now obviously before we get into that, a few months ago, I did talk about this topic. And I did say that they should have thrown the bag at Roquan. They should have paid him whatever he wanted. Should have made him a Bear for life. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? I changed my stance. I changed my mind on that. I was young back then. I was naive. I didn't understand. But now that I look at things and what Ryan Poles is trying to do with this team, I really like this trade. I liked the second and the fifth. Granted, being a fan, I wanted a first. But when you look at it like from the outside, you got to think about it. A second's not bad for 1 year with Roquan. Think about it. Think about it like this. Picture yourself as an NFL GM right now. Picture yourself as a GM. If you're trying to get arguably one of the top linebackers in the league right now, and he's going to he's going to require a larger contract come the end of the year when free agency hits, because he is on his last year. Do you really think you're going to give up a first round pick for basically a rental? Now, granted, there's compensatory, whatever the word is, picks involved that they could get back if he leaves, this, that, whatever. But just on the surface of picks for Roquan, that would be stupid to trade a first for him. That would be just the most moronic thing ever. If you traded a first for Roquan, who had 1 year left on his contract, who you're going to have to fight other teams for when the free agency hits, you deserve to be run out of town and you deserve to lose your job as a general manager. That would be stupid. That would be stupid. That would be something that a former Bears GM that I'm not going to name would have made. That would have been a dumb pick. Dumb trade, rather. So I like the second, and I like the fifth thrown in there. But at the same time, this gives the Bears a lot of draft capital. This gives the Bears a lot of ways and opportunities to go about how they're going to run the rest of their offseason. Because when they made that trade, they had not, well, we'll get to the other part of why this is incorrect in a second. When they made that trade, that brought them 9 picks. I can't remember the last time they had 9 picks. And they're not even bad picks. Isn't there like a first? There was a first, 2 seconds, and like high up there kind of shit. So I liked it, but also it opens up your team a little more. It opens up free agency. It opens up, I just hit my mic. I'm an idiot. It opens up the possibilities of what you can do in the future, because you don't have to throw a large chunk of what? They have $120 million under the cap. They have the most cap space of any team right now. You don't have to throw a large chunk of that at one player like the Bears of before used to do. Because to me, and obviously people that have been watching the Bears longer than I have, because I'm still relatively young, they might have different feelings about this. But ever since 2006, when they went to the Super Bowl, the Bears never really have went through a real rebuild. Like, we always make jokes, we're in a rebuild. Rebuilds don't take 12 fucking years, or however long the time span has been since 2006, or even beyond. Rebuilds don't take that long. You're either rebuilding or you're not. You're contending or not. Whatever. And when you look through these past years of their records, they're always putting up 6 to 9 wins, with, granted, an outlier being 12 in 2018 and like, what was the other one? 10 in 2010, something like that. There were 2 double-digit years, but the rest of the time, they're putting up 6 to 9 wins. They only have 1 year under 5 wins since 2006. That's not a rebuild. That's a mediocre team staying mediocre. And all they did throughout those years is they did like a semi-rebuild, if that makes sense. They paid big money for guys that had name value, and they sold us this bullshit of, oh, our team is looking good. Oh, they're going to move us, this player A and player B will move us in the right direction. That's all that's happened. And that's what would have happened if we paid Roquan again. If we paid Roquan all that money would have gone to him, and then we would have put good players or mid players or subpar players around him, but we couldn't evenly distribute the wealth and the talent around. That is why, and I'll get to my point here because I know I'm kind of going all over the place. That's why we should start kind of trusting Ryan Poles. Like, we should, because he wants to build, like, he even was quoted back in, I think it was January or something, that we're going to build through the draft. And that's what we should fucking be doing. We should be building through the draft. We shouldn't be doing what, in years past, we've been doing that has gotten us these mediocre draft picks. Like, granted, we were 8th when we got Kevin White or something like that. We were high up there, but, well, Kevin White worked out so well. We should be getting like the 16th. We should not be in the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th picks. A rebuild gets you the top 10 pick 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row. And that's what we should not be. If we really want to rebuild, bottom line, if we really, really want to rebuild, these next 4 years, we should not see more than 4 wins. We shouldn't. Unless, in some strange way, this team progresses a lot quicker than I'm expecting. Unless Justin Fields becomes a fucking all-star in year 4. There's no reason for us to be a mediocre team anymore if we're going through a rebuild, and I think Ryan Poles is going to do that for us. And if you're a Bears fan and you're disagreeing with me, you're part of the fucking problem. You're the one that's sitting in those stands every year believing that this team's going to be good. You're the one that's looking at Roquan Smith-like trades and going, that was dumb, we should have kept him. So if you disagree with me, just stop following the team. Because you are part of the problem. And also, if you stop following, I know this is a fact, for the people that I'm referencing right now, if you stop following the team because of what Ryan Poles is doing, you're going to be back when the team starts winning. Because there are fair weather fans all over the fucking place. So please, let Ryan Poles do what he's doing and let's see what he can pull out of this. Jesus Christ.